So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the today's video we are going to see the Anaconda installation on Windows. So welcome to Big Data Knowledge Hunt. So in the previous video we have seen what is big data, we have seen different Python machine learning algorithms in Python, but we have seen it in Jupyter Notebook, but we have not saw how to install the Jupyter Notebook. So in the today's video we will be seeing from scratch how to install the Anaconda, how to download the setup. Also we'll see different IDEs in Python, like PyCharm is one of the IDE, Jupyter Notebook is one of the IDE, Jupyter Lab is one of the IDE, also Sublime Text is one of the IDE. So there are multiple IDEs available for Python. Also for R there are multiple IDEs, and Anaconda provides us different platforms. So we'll see in one by one how to install that. So in the today's video we will be see the installation of Anaconda and PyCharm. So in my PC already PyCharm is being installed, so I will just show you the website from where you can install the PyCharm. So on that website the detailed steps are given how to install the PyCharm, so you can install it from there. And today I will show you how to install the Anaconda. I will install along with you the Anaconda with the downloading of setup also. So we'll start. So before installation we have to make sure that there are some steps to remember. So we'll start with. So before installation of Anaconda, these are some of the points that you have to remember. That first we have to check whether the Python is being installed in our system, and we have to check which type of Python version is installed in our system. These are the two things that we have to check. Also we have to check the Windows version, and we have to then download the appropriate version of Anaconda. So these are the checkpoints that we have to remember whenever we are downloading the Anaconda version on Windows. So these are the things that we have to remember. Now whenever we will start the installation, we will check how to do that. I will show you how to do that. So these are the things we have to check whether the Python is installed in our system. If not, then we have to install the Python. How to install the Python? I will show you that also. After installation of installing the Python, then only we can move further and we can go to install the Anaconda. Before installing the Anaconda, we have to check our Windows version, means which type of it is it a 32-bit or 64-bit, and by checking that only we have to install the appropriate version of Anaconda, because it matters, else the setup will be unuseful for us. Now let's move towards the installation process. This is the navigator based UI of Anaconda. Once our installation or downloading and installation will be successful, we'll get this type of UI of Anaconda, which will be consisting of this type of environment like PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter NAP. These are the environments provided by Anaconda, which you can use as a IDE for the coding purposes. So once the installation will be done, you will get this type of UI. From this you can run the different IDs and code the different setups. So we'll see one by one. So these was the steps that you have to remember before starting, that you have make sure that the Python is installed on the system, and the version should be 2.0 or above. You have to check which type of Windows is 62 or 32. In the previous further videos I show how to do that. And also you have to check the version of Anaconda. So to check which how to check is, the command is python hyphen hyphen version, to check what is the version of which type of Python is installed on the system. It's python hyphen hyphen version. This is the command. You can check it out directly. So the command is here, python hyphen version. This is the command used to check the version of Python, which version is installed onto the system. So you can use this command and check the version that is being installed on the system. This is the command used on Windows. You can check it out which type of version is installed on the system. So you can check the version of the Python make sure that the Python is 2.0 and above. If not, you have to install the Python. So you can install the Python. So you can directly type it Google Python installation command through command line. So you will get the code to install the Python through command line. You will get the command here to installation, and by using that command you can install the Python in the system. After the Python installation been completed, you can proceed further, and then you can start the installation of Anaconda. Okay, so these are the some of the basic steps that you have to remember before starting the installation of Anaconda. Okay, so you have to check here. All the installation steps are given, how to proceed before installation. Like you can find all these steps, how to install the and setup guide. Basic setup installation is given here, how to proceed. Here also they have given how to check the Python installation on Windows. Also they have given how to check on Windows, how to check on Python. Also they have given. You have to press the Windows key, then type the PowerShell. Okay, you have to check the Windows key, then you have to press PowerShell, and then you have to press the Python version. You will get the Python version. After that you can see which type of Python is being entered. After that you can install the Python by using all the steps are given here. You can download the Python version, which type of version you want, 3.8, 3.7. You can download it and install the package. So this is the website realpython.com. By using this website you can install the Python. After your installation is being completed, then you can start to the installation process. So we'll start with the further process. On my system Python is previously installed, so we'll start with the further process. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to Big Data Knowledge Hunt. So in the today's video we are going to see the new topic. So in the today's video we will be see how to install Anaconda onto Windows and how to run the Python. So we'll see the detailed installation steps of Anaconda. So we'll see one by one. So let us check first which version we want to install. So for that first we'll go to our PC and we'll see the properties. So here I am checking. So we want to download the 64-bit version. So first we'll download the version of Anaconda. So we'll write in Google Anaconda download for Windows. Okay, so you can directly write Anaconda download for Windows and you have to write 64-bit. Here is the detailed Anaconda download installation given. Directly you can download Anaconda from here also. Here the downloading has been started, so you can download the Anaconda here also. The installation setup has been started to download. After this, the installation, we can install the Anaconda once the setup has been downloaded. It's a exe file. After this we can start the downloading. So this is the setup of Anaconda. Till then we can read the downloading files. What are the other setups that we need? So once the Anaconda is being downloaded, Anaconda contains all the inbuilt packages which are used for the Python coding. So we did not, some packages are inbuilt in Anaconda that we can use for the coding purposes. Also there are inbuilt different packages that are used in the Python for coding. So it's a open source. It contains different packages, as I told you before. It has different environmental setup. So it is the mostly used Python distribution platform which supports this different packages. It has packages which allow the developers to code different machine learning algorithms. Also, we can develop different codes in R language as well as in Python language. So it's an open source flexible solution that provides the utilities to build, distribute and install and update different softwares. So the different tools or the models provided by Anaconda are Jupyter Notebook, SkyPy package is provided. We can also work on Spider platform. NumPy is one of the package provided by Anaconda. Scikit-learn is one of the platform. Also there are Matplotlib. These are the different libraries packages provided by PyCharm, TensorFlow, PyTorch. These are the different packages provided by Anaconda. So you can easily use all of these packages to plot the different libraries. So this is the UI. Once we install the Anaconda, we will get this type of UI which we can use. So till the setup is being installed, we have to wait. Once the setup is being installed, we can download the setup and use it so that we can install the setup and run it. So this is the UI of Anaconda. So it gives us different platform. So this is a Jupyter Notebook. We can launch the Jupyter Notebook and code it here. This is the Anaconda prompt. We can say it as a command prompt. Similarly to command prompt, we can install different packages from here. This is for PyCharm. So again, PyCharm is one of the editor. Similarly for Java, we use different editor. Similarly for Python also, PyCharm is one of the editor. You can also see PyCharm. I have installed PyCharm also, so I will show you that also. So we can see the PyCharm. So this is a PyCharm. So PyCharm is also one of the editor which is used to run the Python codes, and we can learn the run the Python codes in PyCharm as well as in Anaconda. But the advantage of Anaconda is Jupyter Notebook is more easier and we can get multiple packages more easily. It is more the code we can run that is more flexible, and also we can integrate it with multiple sources. So the UI is more cooperative as compared to PyCharm. In PyCharm, it's a common editor as we as we use it for Java or other programming languages. So the Anaconda provides the greater UI based capacities. Similarly, these are the other tools that provided by Anaconda. Jupyter Lab is similar to Jupyter Notebooks. These are the other platforms provided by the Anaconda prompts. R Lab is used for the R language. Spider Lab is similar to Jupyter Notebook only. So these are the different visualization based Orange, and these are the visualization based coding platforms which we can use for coding. So this is the UI for Jupyter Lab. So why we can use Anaconda? There are the different advantages of Anaconda. It is a open source. Also it has different advantage. We can integrate it with multiple sources. So this is the UI for PyCharm. Here you can open a new project. Here you can save multiple projects. Similarly, we do for Java. You can create a project here with the name of the project. Here you can add multiple files with the extension of py. You can add a new file here. You can download the project. You can run the project. Here you can download multiple files also. You can write the projects here. You can write the code here. So this is a simple UI based structure of, like, you can right click this file. Here is the option to download the project or to run the project also. Like if I want to run this, you can run this main. it will print. If there is error, it will print. If there is not error, it will print here. So this is a PyCharm. So this is one of the editor base which we can use for Python development, and Anaconda is the second editor. So there are multiple editors available, or multiple editor based structures available which you can use in Python, or multiple structure. Multiple Python based editors are available, such as Jupyter Notebook is one of the editor which is used widely, but mostly the editors that are used for Python are PyCharm only, PyCharm or Jupyter Notebook. But if you want to integrate with multiple sources, Jupyter Notebook is the best way. Like you can see, if the study is done, Notepad++ is used widely. Visual Studio is one of the thing. Sublime Text, these are used in the industry level structures. But if you are seeing for beginners, Jupyter Notebook is widely used. But if you are seeing in the industry, Notepad++, Visual Studio, Sublime Text, these are the some of the editors used. But NetBeans is also used. PyCharm is also used. Then you can also go with Jupyter Notebooks. Here it is written Jupyter Notebooks, RStudio. So there are multiple editors available, but you can go whichever suits you, or whichever is easy to understand, you can go with it. But as you can see here, the best are the PyCharm. You can see PyCharm is widely used on Windows as well as on Mac. PyCharm is widely used, as well as Spider. It is one of the version which is available on Anaconda only. So PyCharm and Spider are the widely used. They are free only. PyCharm is sometimes paid. If you are going with Amazon, then the it's sometimes paid version is also available, which is integrated with AWS services if you are using their cloud services. Spider is totally free version is available, which is integrated with AWS services. Sublime Text is one of the available with AWS. It is a free version. Sublime Text is also one of the editor which is available for free, which is one of the editor. You can integrate it with different web services also. So it is one of the Python based programming editor. Visual Studio, we all know, you can it is also free, you can work on that also. So these are the Python based editors which are available online. You can use it and you can work on it. So Anaconda is best because it has different options. It provides you the option of PyCharm, it provides you the option of Spider, it provides you the option of Matplotlib, NumPy, Spider, Jupyter, as well as multiple options are available on Anaconda, such as Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, Spider. These are the R Lab. These are the 4. Also PyCharm. So these are the 4 to 5 editors available on PyCharm, Anaconda, which you can easily use it, and which are easily available, free to use, and you can use it freely without any money. After installation, you can access their documentation, which will give you all the details how to access or how to download the packages, how to work on it. For different version, the different installation guidelines are also given on their website, how to work on it. So you can go through it. Detailed documentation on Python is also given, which are the packages, which are the detailed analysis is also given there. So you can go through it and you can work on it also. Like on Python, it's how to install these. They have given the commands also. Like on Windows, if you want to install, how to install, what are the commands. So you have to just copy this command, and in the Anaconda there was a command prompt. On that command prompt, you have to just copy the command, paste it, and you have to just enter it, then the package will be installed. I will show you one by one how to do the installation. Once the pandas anaconda will be installed, we will go through one by one. Now these are the two editors I have shown you just now. So once the installation will be done, we will go through one by one. We will see the basic program, one on the anaconda, one by using the Jupyter notebook, another one on the PyCharm. So the installation steps of PyCharms are very simple. I have already installed, so I will just show you the how to install PyCharm. I will just show you the steps. So how to install PyCharm? So these are the steps. You can go through this website, jetbrains.com. This is a website. By using this website, you can download the PyCharm. I have already installed. So here these are the two options given here. This is the professional and community option. So you have to download this version, open source, free open source. This is the trial version. So you can download both, any of this version. Okay, this is a trial version, free open source. You can download this version and you can use it. So by using this website, you have to download. I have already downloaded it. You have to download the version and use it. Okay, professional version, you can download it. These are the free open source tool. You will not need anything. You have to download the PyCharm by using this website, jetbrains.com. By using this website, you can download it, install it on your PC. After installation, you will get this. You will get this UI and easily you can work on it. Simple, you have to install it. After installation, you can work on it. Here you have to write the code. You have to create a, like, you have file, new project. This project will create on your you have to create a folder, else in your C and user you will create a folder. Like if I am writing first project, under this project my project will be created. Like on a new window, my project is being created. Under this project, my new file will be created. Once I create a new file, on that file I can write the code and my new project will be created. Under that project, one new file will be created. Whatever the code I will write, that will be created on the new file. So this is a project. This is a process of how to create a new project under a new file. So once you create a file, that file will be created under the folder which you have created in the C folder. So once you install, the folder will be created under the C folder in your PC. So you can install the PyCharm. Both are same, but Jupyter Notebook is better than PyCharm because you can if you are integrating it with AWS in the further, then it will be easy for you, because in machine learning algorithm, if you are working, if you need multiple packages, then in PyCharm sometimes some packages get difficult to download in PyCharm. So it will be easy for you to download it with Anaconda because multiple packages are already installed in Anaconda. So it becomes easier for you to integrate with Anaconda. So PyCharm is better than, Anaconda is better than PyCharm. So you can go with Anaconda. So download Anaconda only. So here my Anaconda is downloading. I think it's being downloaded. So here the first project is created with the name of main.py. Like if I write here, print here. Now if I run this code, you can see hi PyCharm is being printed. So this is the first project, and here hi PyCharm is being printed because I have written nothing here. So this is the basic program which is being printed. So this was the project which I created, my first project, and this is the basic program, basic first page or first py file created under the first project. folder. Here also, from here also you can run the project. Okay. So from in the further videos I will also show you how to download the packages in PyCharm also. Here in this video we are just seeing how to download the Anaconda from the command prompt or from the Windows. That's why I'm not showing. So here we see first how to download the PyCharm. So this was the website for downloading the PyCharm. Now we'll see how to download the Anaconda. Okay. Now here our Anaconda is being downloading now. But make sure you download the proper version of Anaconda. If your Windows is of 32-bit and you are downloading the 64-bit version, then it's of no use. So you have to download the proper version of Anaconda. If your Windows is of 64-bit, then you have to download the 64-bit Anaconda only. Okay. So now our Anaconda the setup has been downloaded. It's 2 minutes remaining. Once it's been downloaded, we can install it. So this was the PyCharm installation. I hope everyone is clear with how to download the PyCharm. If anyone have any doubt, you can connect me on Instagram or in comment section. So I'm closing the PyCharm now. So Anaconda has very benefits, because in Anaconda it provides us the different packages which are easily available, and also it has different advantages also, and the package installation is very easy. You can easily get the command. Also you can directly write this command and install Anaconda on Windows also directly, but we are downloading by using this exe file. The packages installation is very easy in Anaconda. By using the command prompt, we have to just, like, if we want to install any specific package, then by using the Anaconda prompt we can just write the command on the Anaconda prompt and we can install that command. So the command installation or the package installation is easy. Also, whenever we are writing the code in Jupyter Notebook, the code that we have to write is of 2-3 lines, and it's very easy to understand, and the UI is also very clear, so it gets easily accessible, and also it's very easy to integrate with the other platforms. Like if you want to integrate it with UI, you can easily integrate it. So the UI that is being provided by the Jupyter Notebooks is very easy, so we can easily manage it or access it. So let us start with the setup now. So you can see now our exe setup has been fully downloaded. Now you will install it. I am giving the detailed tutorial because some of them has been asked me on Instagram for this. So now it has been downloaded and now we'll install it. It has been saved in our folder. So now we'll go to the folder and we'll check it out. Yes. So we'll now install the Anaconda folder. We'll install the Anaconda setup now. We'll run it and we'll see how it will reflect. In which folder you want to save it, you can save it. I am just saving it into the C folder by default. If you want to give any specific path or directly into Python environment, You can give it. Now I am installing the Anaconda. These are the basic steps of setting the environment. Once all this will done, we'll see a basic program by using the PyCharm, also basic welcome program. Also we'll see it in Jupyter Notebook. Okay. So it's taking a time to install the setup. So now the setup has been installed. So you can see, I think it's been reinstalling again and again. So we have to wait till the setup is being installed. It's taking time because the files are very large. You have to install all of these packages. So we have to wait till all of these packages are being installed. Once it's been installed, we'll start the further process. Okay. So now you can see the installation has been completed and the setup has been downloaded. So now the Anaconda has been installed to our system. Now we can start. So you can see the setup has been installed properly and the Windows is starting the Anaconda here. Once the Anaconda is being downloaded, you will get the notification here that the Anaconda has been installed properly, and this is the navigation window. It's been opening into the Once you will get this, you can start the Anaconda prompt, or you can start the Anaconda and start the coding now. So we'll start one by one and we'll get into the coding. Now here the Anaconda setup is completed. Now we'll start the Anaconda. So here I'm searching Anaconda. You can see here, this is the Anaconda prompt. I am starting the Anaconda navigator. So once we'll click the Anaconda navigator, the Anaconda navigator window will open. So in the Anaconda navigator, we'll get multiple options. On that, there are multiple options. You can start the Anaconda prompt from the Anaconda navigator or directly from the start menu also. Here from directly we can start the Anaconda prompt from here, as well as if you open the Anaconda navigator, this is the app. Here we will get the multiple options. Once it will open, I will show you what are the different options we are getting to start. Like what what are the different options, what we can start from the Anaconda Navigator. We'll see one by one what are the different options. So it's starting, it will take some time to open. So to install Anaconda, the basic requirement is Python should be installed on your system. Since in my system the Python was previously installed, so easily we can install the Anaconda. So this is a basic requirement. So first you should install the Python on the system, so easily you can install the Anaconda. Okay, if it is not installed, you can install and then download the Anaconda. So now the Anaconda Navigator or the Anaconda is being starting on our system, and you can easily start with the prompt now. So you can see there are multiple options in Python editors available online. Also there are multiple editors, but if each time if you are doing online coding, then it's difficult for you to save the code. So it's better to use the offline coding platforms, because the offline coding platforms give you a better access. You can save the code. So these are the some of the advantages of using the offline coding platforms, because they provide us the better access to the code. So now you can see that the navigator has been opened, and these are the multiple options that are being available on the Anaconda Navigator. So you can see what are the options available. This is the command prompt. As I told you before, you can directly get it from the start menu also, and it is available in the navigator also. This is one of the data analysis tool which is available in the Anaconda Navigator. It is a coding platform provided by IBM. This is Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook. These are the same things, but these are the two different platforms. Some UI based difference is there between Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook, but both are the coding based platforms, Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook. Next is, this is a PowerShell prompt which provides us the UI based environment. Next is a PyCharm, which I showed you previously. This is a console which provides you different graphical and syntactical based representation, figure based representation console. This is a editor or IDE which provide you for coding. These are used for visualization, as a visualization tool. With the help of coding you can visualize here. This is also one of the IDE or which is used for coding again. Next, this is PyCharm Professional. This is community version, this is professional version, and all RStudio is used for coding in R language. Similar to Jupyter Notebook, it is used for coding in R language. So these are some of the tools or options which are environment provided by the Anaconda, and we can see one by one. So basically widely Jupyter Notebook is used. So if you want to start coding, then you have to launch the Jupyter Notebook. Means if you want to start, then you have to open the Jupyter Notebook. To open it, you have to just click here launch. So whichever like if you are using the Google Chrome, then it will open in Google Chrome. If you are using any other browser, then it will open in that browser. If you are using Internet Explorer, then the Jupyter Notebook will open in Internet Explorer. Or if you are using Mozilla, then it will open in Mozilla. Or if you are using Google Chrome, then the Jupyter Notebook will open in Google Chrome. Now after using this launch, the Jupyter Notebook will be open. Similarly for Jupyter Lab, similarly for Spider, you can use any of the editor, but widely Jupyter Notebook is used. Now we will see how to work with it. Similarly, you can use this launch, and here if you want to install any package, you can install here. You can write the command and you can install any specific tools. Like this is running means it is launching that specific tool, or once it is done means the launching is been completed. Like it is asking in which tool you want to open the Jupyter Lab. Like if I want to open in Microsoft Edge, if I want to open in Google Chrome, if I want to open in Internet Explorer. Like if I want to open in Google Chrome, I will select Click OK. Now in Google Chrome, Jupyter Notebook is open. Now here my Jupyter Notebook is open in Google Chrome. Now if I want to create a new Python file, I have to select new. Which type of file I want to create a folder, I want to create a text file, or I want to create a Python file. Now I want to create a Python file. If so, I have selected new Python file. So these here all my files will be saved. Now this my file which I created just now, you can see here this file is saved here. So this is the structure of Jupyter Notebook. Similarly, I can create multiple things here. From here I can launch that thing, I can open from here and I can start it. So these are the different environment. Like if I want to search any package, I can, if I want to search any package, pandas is one of the package. So if I want to search, I can search it from here. You can check there are different packages that are being installed here. So you can, if I want to search here, you can search it from here. See, I want to search package, so it is being installed already. So if I want to search any other package, NumPy is one of the package, so it is being installed. So you can search any specific package and you can search whether that is installed or not. So these are the, if you want to learn anything, if you want to learn the detailed documentation, you can learn it from here. How to work with Jupyter Notebook, how to work with Jupyter Lab, how to work with Orange, how to work with Scikit-learn, what is TensorFlow, what is PyCharm. So you can get all the details here. You can go and read all the documentation provided there. So you will get all the documentation. You can read the documentation. You will get all the detailed documentation. So all of these documentations are given here. So these are the detailed all overview about the Anaconda prompt. So all the detailed documentation you can get it from here and easily you can learn it from here. Okay. So I'll show you one of the example. Like if you want to read any specific like if I want to download any specific package for latex. Okay. If I want to download now any specific package for, so you if you know that latex is one of the language where if you are doing any, if you are writing any research paper and if you are writing it in latex language, and if I want to download any package, so my test is one of the package and I want to download that package in Anaconda. So this is the command given here. So this command I want to download now. So this is the command given here. So how I will download this command? By using the command prompt. I have to just use this. I have to paste it here and then I have to just press the enter. Once I will press the enter, it will start downloading. Okay. And once the process will be completed, it will show the result there that it has been downloaded, or if there is any error, all the things will be shown there. So this is the process of how to download a specific package using the command prompt. You can see here. Now if I want to stop, you have to just press the escape, then it will stop the process. Okay. So this is the thing how you can download the package or how you can work with command prompt. Okay. So this was a basic tutorial at how to download. Now we will see a basic program by using the Jupyter Notebook. Okay. We will see a basic program how you can work with Jupyter Notebook. Similarly, we will see with the PyCharm also. So first we'll see a basic program. Like if you are doing the addition of two numbers, like I am taking two numbers, like I take addition, I took one number, number 1 and number 2. Okay. So these are the two numbers we have taken. Now we'll add the two numbers. So sum is equal to num1 plus num2, and now we'll just run this, and now we'll print the addition is, so the addition is here. We'll print the addition, so you can see the addition is being printed. So this was a simple program. Now you have to keep in mind that Python is a very case sensitive language. In Jupyter Notebook there are some different syntax, whereas PyCharm there are some different syntax. I will show you what are the different syntaxes. Now the same code will execute in PyCharm. Okay, I will show you what is the difference. Now this program we executed in the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, now here we didn't use any package. We executed a very simple program. Okay, we have taken input as two numbers. We have just did the addition of two numbers, and we have just printed the two numbers. Okay, now we have not stored that numbers. We have not did anything. We have just taken the input and we have just printed the addition of the two numbers. Now in PyCharm we'll see what is the what will be the difference. Okay, so basically Python is a case sensitive language. The code is not difficult at Java, but it has some difficulties, or it has some basic case sensitive properties in Python also. And PyCharm, previously we created a project named as first project. So we will open that project only, and we will just edit the main file. In that file only we will. So in PyCharm we previously created this first project, and under that we have a main file, which was in that we just printed the hi PyCharm. Okay, so we will just edit that project only, or we'll create a new file. Okay, so under this project only we will create a new file, and we'll just write the same code that we are executing, that we executed in the Jupyter Notebook. So we will execute a new Python file. We'll create a new Python file here, and we'll name it as first program. So the first program.py is connected. So again we'll write the same program now here again. Number 1 is equal to 34. Number 2 is equal to 6. Sum is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Print addition is comma sum. Okay, so this was the code that I used previously, as you can see, and the same code I am using here also, and we'll check did it will print. Yeah, it's worked properly and it's printing the correct output. Okay, now what I want to say is sometimes it give a error, because Python is a case sensitive language. Sometimes it says that we have to use sometimes we have to use double quotation here, like in the if else statement are different in Java. So in Java and Python there are some difference, like in if else statement there is a difference in Java and Python. So you have to make sure whenever you are coding, you have to. And the one important thing is, whenever we are coding here, you will get this easily. Like when I was writing here print, it was easily giving me the value. I can copy paste here. But in Jupyter Notebook, this option is not available. Okay, you can check it here. If I am writing print, I have to write it. you will not get this option easily. Yeah, PyCharm has multiple advantages, but it is not easy to integrate in PyCharm easily. So this advantage is overcome by the option of Sublime Test. So the Sublime Test has overcome the properties or overcome this option or overcome the properties. So the UI is similar to the PyCharm and it has given the multiple options. So you can see the UI is similar to the PyCharm and it gives multiple advantages also. The code you can easily get whenever you are writing the code easily. The options are available in the scroll down menu, so you can select it easily. The code is also easily available in the drop down menu, so the developer can easily choose the code. So this is one of the option for Python developers or editors. IDE is very better, the UI is better, the graphics is better. So it is one of the better option available. So you can either go with Sublime Text or you can go with Anaconda or you can go with PyCharm. So these are the three options that are available in the machine learning, Python and R. So for R, you can go with this RStudio. For Python, you can go with PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab, Sublime Text. Okay. So in this tutorial, I have given you all the steps: how to download Anaconda from scratch, how to install it, how to write a basic program using Anaconda. So now we'll see 2 to 3 programs, basic programs in Anaconda. Also, like we have some now here how to, like you can save also. Like if you want to save here, this is the way to save. First program, you can write it here, rename it. So this is the way to save the program. You can download the program from here. Like here multiple options are given here: make a copy, save as, download as. If you want to save it as a PDF, you can save it as a Python file, you can save it as a notebook, you can save it as a latex file. So there are multiple options are given in which type of format you want to save the file. If you want to print, you can print it also, you can make a copy also, you can run the file from here, you can run a specific copy also. So these are the multiple options given here. Okay, and these are the file will be saved here. Like if you check here, now our file is named as firstprogram.ipynb. So in Jupyter Notebook, the Python file is saved as ipynb. The extension is given as ipynb, whereas in PyCharm the extension is given as .py file. Okay, so the files are same. So the location you can check, the Python files is saved at C folder here, and in Jupyter Notebook these are saved here. You can check it out the location also where the files are being saved. So this was the basic tutorial how to install Anaconda and how to run the Anaconda on command prompt. So this was the basic tutorial. So for more such videos on machine learning and big data, stay tuned on the channel. Make sure you subscribe it. Here, so now we have taken the two simple number, that is x and y, and so here we have taken the values in it. I have taken the value of x is 5 and y 10 integer values. We'll swap the two values. First we'll see a program in which we have taken a temporary variable as temp and we'll swap the values. So first we'll store the value of x in temp. So the value 5 will be stored in temp. Then in x the value of y will be stored and the value of y will be stored in, so sorry, the value of temp will be stored in y. So now the swapping will be done and the value will be printed. Now you can see the value of x is stored in temp. So the value of 5 will be stored in temp. Now in x the value of y is stored. The value of y is 10, that is stored in x, and in y the value of temp is stored. Now in temp the value is 5. So 5 is stored in y. So after running this program, you can see the output. We'll get the output as, we'll get the value of x as it is showing the error because the syntax is invalid, because we have to write here format. Why we have to write here format? Because we have used the temp variable to store, and we have declared, yeah, you can see here the x and y value are swapped, and after swapping the value of x was 5, and now in x the value is 10. The value of y was 10 previously, and now after swapping the value of y has become 5. So the swapping is being successful. Now if we change the code, now I am changing the code here. Now I am removing the temp value. I am simply swapping the value without using the temp. Now if I print the value as, now if I print x, now what I did, I didn't use any temp variable. Now you can see, now also the value has been swapped. The x value was 5, it is 10. The y value was 10, it is 5. Now also the swapping is done. So you can either use the temp value or you can directly swap the value. So this was a basic Python program of swapping. So previously we saw a Python program in Anaconda, where we saw in PyCharm also we saw one of the program of addition of two numbers, and this was the second basic program of swapping two numbers. So syntax is basically the main thing whenever we are dealing with Python language. So you have to make sure that you keep in mind the syntax. Like previously we don't use the dot format of x. It was showing the error. So you have to make sure that you write the proper syntax whenever you are writing. If I do such type of errors, it will show me the errors because it is a Python is a very case sensitive language. So you have to, it will show error here also. So it is a case sensitive language. So you have to make sure whenever you are writing the code, you write it properly. So I hope everyone is clear with the idea how you have to download the Anaconda and how to work with it. So thank you for watching the video. So now we will see one more basic code, that is finding out whether the number is a positive number, negative number, or a zero. So I have written a code for that. So we have to first write uh, get the number from the user. So for that I have written number is equal to enter the number. So this will get the number from the user, like we are taking the input for the from the user. So this similar code you can write it down in the Jupyter notebook and execute it. You will get the similar output that we are getting in the PyCharm. So if the number is greater than 0, so these are the syntax difference between Java and the Python. You have to make there are some differences between Java and Python. So if the number is greater than 0, we have to print it as a positive number. Dot format is a syntax. Whenever we are writing, we have to write it dot format in bracket number. If the number is equal to 0, then we have to print it as a 0, that the number is 0, and if it is else, it will print it as a negative number. Okay, so this is a basic code that we have written here. So we will execute it and see the execution of the code. So it is running here. So here we have to, in the command prompt, whenever we execute the code, here we can enter the number, like I have written here 87. So it will print it, it is a positive number. So again, if I execute it here, if I am giving any negative value, if I give 09, it will again print it is a positive number. Again, if I am executing the same thing, I have written it as -8. So it is printing it as a negative number. If I execute it and if I give it as a 0 value, it should print that it is a 0. So you can see it is giving the correct output, and it is printing that it is a positive, negative, or whatever the input we are giving, it is printing the proper output for the specific values. So you can say that our code is working properly. So you can copy the all the same code and you can paste it in the Jupyter notebook. It will work properly for the same input. Okay, so you can try it out and let me know whether it is working properly or not.